Hey everybody, welcome to another live stream. Let me know if you're here so I can add you to the raffle. Do you think EV stocks are going to start going up a lot because of the high price of oil? Because I was thinking of buying an EV. Seems like the best time because the higher the price of oil, the more advantageous it is to get an EV. If oil got to a point, just go to the extreme, if it was like $100 a barrel, then everybody will buy an EV, right? So like as it goes up, EV sales must go up. And as oil prices go down, EV sales will probably go down. Does that make sense? Or is Tesla too overvalued? Because I'm not sure I would invest in any other EV. Maybe NEO. And there's that stock, Mullen Automotive, that's been really going up and down a lot. It was $13 a share in November. Then it went down to like 60 cents. So a lot of people have been buying it. Well, if I bought an EV, I don't think it would matter the gas price as much if I owned it, because I would just. But I think it would just it may encourage people to get EVs. But it's I mean, even if you did the math, I mean, let's do it. We could probably do it really fast. Say you spent $400 a week on $100 a week on gas. That would probably be the high end, but $400 times 52. Wait, $400 times 12. $100 a week is $5,200. That's pretty easy. So it would take several years to make up for the savings in gas. But right, that's the thing. EV cars aren't cheap, but you could get a used EV, which I would probably do. But it seems like if there was a time to get an EV, it would be now. Especially when there's a fear that oil is going to keep going up. Even though I don't think it's going to go up much more. I think it's pretty much at its peak. Oil just, it's not a stock. It can't just go up forever. Because there's plenty of countries that could just flood the oil market, or any commodity really. So there's no way it could go up indefinitely. Because if it went up to, say, $200 a barrel, then all these companies will be flooding the market. That would be so beneficial to sell oil, because there's lots of oil that is not even pulled because it's just too expensive to get to it and extract it. I mean, any commodity, like if it was a gold, like a lot of gold mining companies keep tons of gold reserves. And when the price of gold gets to a high point, they're going to sell more of their reserves. But they know, these companies know they can't flood the market, because if they do, then the oil price will go way down. So they have to kind of manage the market. So it's got to come back down. I mean, just like when it was really low, it had to come back up. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying sell your oil stocks, but I'm saying you may be upset when it comes back down to like $60, $70 a barrel the next few months, and your stock is cut in half. I don't really know. I'm just kind of speculating. Of course, I don't really know. If I knew, I would have put all my money to oil a month ago, but it's just a guess. If the war is still on when the Fed increases interest rates, do you like a short ETF? I don't know. I don't usually like shorting. It's too you got to time it right. I'm just not. I think if China invades, is it Taiwan? I think that could be a time this market will crash. Like if another war goes on, but it's just kind of. I think we have a good amount of 17 people. Okay, that doesn't count because that was there already. 11. 12. CB350. 16. You have to get picked twice, and you can't get picked twice in a row. If it doesn't change, that doesn't count. It has to at least change. 8. 15. 4. A lot of people getting picked. 6 people. I'm randomly loco. Okay, that doesn't count because it was 5. 10. A lot of people getting picked. 2. It's crazy. 10. Christian Sykes. Christian Sykes. Make sure you email me. You have to email me to claim your $20 gift card. It's so I don't forget. Christian Sykes. Fidel Ruiz. JV. The Cherry Tigers. I'm posting a video. Himax. That's the semiconductor company, right? I did a video on Himax. I'm posting a video. It's on the 15th. So on Tuesday. Hey, Ben. So on Tuesday, I'm posting a video how to create a DCF. It's going to be really, it should be pretty simple. If you're at least somewhat decent at Excel, you should be able to create it on your own. I could show it to you right now if you want. And I also posted the Excel file on my Patreon page. So if you're a member of Patreon, or if you want to be a member of Patreon, you can just get that Excel file for this. It's like a simplified DCF. It's pretty similar to my DCF. Not exactly, because my DCF, it's kind of complex and it would be hard to like show you every single step, but it's like 90% of it. But the DCF is a small part of it. It's understanding like the inputs and like the WACC, and understanding certain companies if they don't have any positive free cash flow, understanding like what to do. That's the hardest part. Just inputting numbers, there's only maybe 1 out of 50 companies that'll work for. Baba's killing me, right? If they delist Baba or any stock, if they delist a stock, I think it'll start trading OTC, over the counter. So if you own Baba, or if you own DD, I think they're getting delisted, you should still have access to it over the counter. So you won't lose. It's not like you're gonna lose all your money. Although if it trades OTC, it won't have as much activity, and it probably will go down. There's less of a market when it's trading OTC. Tencent is already over the counter. That is true. Why are they over the counter? Like, does anybody know? I saw that too, and it's a $500 billion market cap. I mean, it's a big company, so they can trade. Yeah, CrowdStrike is up with earnings. Maybe this is was a way to get around the Chinese regulators. They're not actually on a major exchange to trading OTC, so maybe the big guys can't buy OTC stocks. What do you mean the big guys? You mean like big funds like BlackRock? All right, I think that's true. I don't think, yeah, they can't, right? What was Tencent on like the NASDAQ at one point and they moved to the OTC, or were they always OTC? Most users prefer interactive brokers for stock trade. Tencent is a sprawling conglomerate that could be dubbed China's Berkshire Hathaway. It has a number of diverse businesses. How do you trade? I'm not sure. Some brokerages won't let you buy. Yeah. So it's kind of like if a company goes bankrupt, like when Hertz went bankrupt, you don't lose your stock. It goes to OTC, but it's kind of like almost like losing your stock. When a company goes bankrupt, it almost becomes worthless. But so I think that's what's going to happen with Baba. Look at that, $86. It was trading at 88 when they IPO'd. Or maybe 90. Now they're trading, not the lowest ever, because they were trading in the low 60s in 2016. Have you ever looked into? Uh, no, I'm not sure what Olaplex. Then it crashed to 120. I thought I was smart. I mean, all these people were buying, and I waited, and then when it hit like 115, I bought it. I thought I was smart, and I'm down like 35%. But I mean, if it goes to like 300 at some point this year or next year, I'll feel smart. But right now, you could just buy the dips, I guess. I don't know if going back years. I use Yahoo Finance. It only goes back a few quarters, but I use this one. This is not free though. Businessquant.com. You go back years. But they gave me a free subscription. Do you put a stop loss on your investments? No, I don't put stop losses. I guess I only do that if I buy something I don't really want to buy. Like I feel it's a risky investment. But pretty much everything I buy, I feel I want to hold long term. So I don't put stop losses on it. Why is it even this low? Is it just because of, it's just because of the government and fear of delisting? Yeah, Chinese stocks. I stopped getting into them for a while, and then I was just it got so low, Baba, and I couldn't resist. Yeah, it's delisting fears. Yeah, American stocks are not. They're not. Yeah, you don't get the best value out there. I bought Netflix on the dip, and I did get it on the dip. Of course, now I'm still down. I'm down like 20% from the dip. I thought that was a good time, but it's hard to get a good return. Do you think all these companies pulling their business in Russia will hurt? I mean, it should hurt the earnings because when you limit your business, it's it should you probably won't hit your targets, your revenue and earnings targets. So yeah, let's all buy from Alibaba. Let's support Alibaba. It's but if you're looking to double or triple your money, I could see why Munger said that about Alibaba, and that's unlikely to happen with some of these U.S. stocks. But most things are retracting. A lot of things are like Facebook is a good deal now if you like Facebook. So lots of things are actually below their pre-COVID levels. Lots of stocks. Like Zoom was like one of the hottest COVID stocks, and now it's look at it. It's 108, which is below, or which is pretty much at COVID. So if you bought it pre-COVID or even in the beginning of COVID in April or May, thinking you're smart, you're down now. Amazon, yeah, so everybody knows they're doing a 20 for 1 stock split. So you could 20 times your money, just buy it before they split. You get 20x, right? Isn't that how it works? Damn, I made nothing on Baba. I bought it in April, I think April 2021. Oh no, it was April 2020, I think. Was it April? No, it was April 2021. So I'm down like 10, 15%. It's ridiculous. So you guys don't think EVs are a good investment? Because sales got to go up, right? I mean, there has to be a correlation between gas prices and EVs. As gas prices go up, so will EV sales. So it seems like and this is how you can make this is how you make money. You have to identify something before it happens. You can't wait for like Russia to invade and then gas prices go up. You can't start buying gas after it goes up. You have to do it before it happens. Nobody thinks EVs, but which EV, right, is going to go up a lot? Besides, yeah, Ford is going up. I mean, Ford's been going down lately. What is it down, like 30% the past few months? More. It's down 50% will be 12. So it's down like 40%. So I think Ford may be a good. I remember I wanted to buy Ford at $4. I don't see it ever hitting 4. I thought it was 4 when I wanted to buy it, and I never bought it. EVs are for rich people. You can get a used EV. I mean, you could probably get an EV for like 20,000, like a 3-year-old car. I mean, you could invest in companies that provide the infrastructure, like the charging stations and the batteries, or you can invest in I guess you can invest in like a copper company, but that seems like it's too far away from EVs to have much upside. This is the most I've had on the weekly live stream. On one of my daily live streams, I had over 80 at one point. I think maybe Ford would be a good investment. Maybe I'll invest in Ford. Maybe I'll pull some out of the S&P index and put into Ford. I can't get rid of Baba. I mean, if it comes back up, Baba is either a dead company because of China, or when things turn around, it's going to go back up to 300. So if it doesn't go back up to like 250, 300 level, there's no way I'm going to sell it. It's just a matter of time till it comes back. Unless they do delist it. At that point, I guess I have to give up. CrowdStrike. Yeah, I wish I didn't sell CrowdStrike. I should have kept it. I bought CrowdStrike at like 180, and then it was up to like 280. I remember, and it was great. And then it went. I ended up selling it at 180, or maybe even lower. Maybe it was like 190, and I sold at 180. Who wants to talk about Apcellera? This stock is gonna make us all rich, even though it's trading below $8. Look how high it was. Over $50. How it IPO'd at 60? How could that be possible? It was as high as 70 when it IPO'd? But the thing is, they did well with COVID, but they haven't really made any money since then. Yeah, they had revenue of 375 million in 2021. Actually, look at it. Their fourth quarter wasn't so bad, because in the second quarter and third quarter, they didn't really have any revenue, as you can see. 6 million of revenue. But the fourth quarter, they're getting revenue again. All they need is one drug to get FDA approval. Like they had the COVID drug, and that's why they were starting to bring in a lot of revenue. At one point, their trailing 12-month revenue was like $1 billion, because they had 200 million. Then before that, they must have had like 300 million. Although no, that can't be. No one used the drug though. No one used the vaccine, the COVID vaccine that they came out with. Right, they have to come up with a new vaccine or a new. But they don't have as much risk as a regular pharmaceutical company, because they just develop the antibodies for the drugs. So they just get paid a royalty. They don't have all the costs of going through the FDA trials and the process, which is expensive. Everything oil, palm oil. Okay. Look at Slim. George Peters, hi there. Warren Marsh. Okay, so the second one, that doesn't count. SCRKZ. JDO. This doesn't count, whatever it's on there. Doesn't count. Why don't the big pharma use contract labs? 3. 4. 31. 19, 25, 21, 31, 31 again, 31. SERKZ1. So make sure you email me. Make sure you email me so you can claim your prize. Maybe there's a benefit to being the last number. PTPI. So do you think oil is going to keep going up? I don't. It's come back down. Didn't it come down like 10% from its peak? So I'm not sure oil is the best play, although it's just a guess. So it's what's the next thing that's going to get pumped up? I mean, there's a war going on, so there's opportunity for possible big swings, like either to long something or short something. Petros Pharmaceuticals. They have revenue. That's a good sign. But if you want to get revenue, you could just acquire a company that's already bringing in revenue. That's like the easiest way to get revenue. Just acquire someone else. I just did a video on AEM. Agnico. Does anybody invested in gold stocks? Agnico. They acquired Kirkland Lake Gold in the fourth quarter of 2021. So now they're I think the fourth largest gold company in the U.S. trading in the United States. I mean, they're a Canadian company, but it seems overvalued. So I know you guys are happy with Vale, and I don't want to like steer anybody in the wrong direction, but oil is pretty high, so I'm not sure. I mean, well, not Vale, but your oil stocks. I know everybody's really happy. Oil's really high, so I'm not sure how much higher it can go. And same thing with Vale. I'm not sure, especially if there's any conflict with China, I'm not sure how iron ore prices will react. Buffett did buy Occidental, right? Occidental he bought. Didn't he buy preferred shares? What, I forget what it was. Between the stock warrants, Berkshire. When people, it's hard to compare yourself to people like Buffett, because when he buys something, he gets all these sweeteners in the deal. Like he spends so much money, so they give him like warrants on top of the stock. So so even if the stock went down like 10%, he still would make money. Like, well, we would lose 10%. I'm not saying don't do what he does, but I'm just saying it's a little different when he does it. His cost base is different. He gets a better deal, and he gets all these. I booked Waro at 1.5 recently. Problem is, I only put $300 in. Vet, But sometimes, did he sell his Occidental already? Or I'm pretty sure he's gonna flip it if he didn't already. He just wants to get a quick, a really nice return, and then because I've seen it do that before. Berkshire is like, I bought the S&P 500 and Berkshire at the same time, and the S&P 500 has been outperforming Berkshire for so many years, and just recently Berkshire is now doing better than S&P 500. Um, yeah, I guess just buy Berkshire, and if you can't beat Buffett, so just, yeah, just invest in his stock. Why are we even? I bought it in at this. I bought it like 250 down here in 2017. I forgot what I bought. Maybe 270. Maybe I bought it here. Um, and for a while, I mean, Apple's the only thing that's doing better than Berkshire percentage wise. Apple and Facebook were both over 100% returns. Now Facebook is, I'm pretty much break even from when I bought it in 2017. And Apple is up the most, and then Berkshire. BRK. I mean, a lot of people say that after Buffett dies, then the stock won't. But they said that about Jeff Bezos and about what's his name? What's his name from Apple? But mostly, like Buffett has people working. He's kind of grooming them. They're doing a lot already. Like, he's stepping back. So yeah, Munger, who's older than Buffett, Steve Jobs, yeah. So I don't know. I'm not too worried. BK as a company is so well built that it doesn't really matter who runs it in the future. You're making me feel better about post Buffett. Yeah, I'm not too worried. It's even though he's the face and he does make some good decisions, I think the guys he has like right below him are kind of doing a lot. And it does make it easier when you have so much money, because anybody could seem like a genius if they have so much cash to work with, because you can pull a lot of weight as long as you don't make totally stupid decisions. You can get great deals. Like, you can buy a lot of stock, like make these side deals and get these great, like, teasers. Buy the dip when he croaks. Yeah, that's a good strategy. Buy the dip when he dies. It probably will dip. Or buy so the cash reserves is the power. I want to say that's totally, but I think that makes, because it's kind of like if you have a friend whose parents have tons of money, right? and you find out he started a business and now he's making $1 million in revenue a year. It just helps to have parents that can kind of backstop you for everything. And even if you mess up, like even if you blow that business, you're not out of money because your parents. But if you personally start a business and it doesn't work, you're kind of doomed. You might be done for the rest of your life. That might be like most of your savings. So like you can't mess up. You can't take risks. So when you have like lots of capital, it makes things a lot easier. And he'll never die. That's true. He's like what, 90 now? 91? Yeah, I don't know. But Facebook, just put your money to Facebook. That's the way to go. Yeah, I hold BRK. I hold one share of BRK. I mean, you could have bought it literally 3 years ago. Pretty much 3 years ago, and you'd be even. 4 years ago. 4 years ago, you'd be even. It's sad, right? I think I bought it in. I might have bought it in 2017, so I might still be up on my Facebook, but I did buy more recently, and I'm down like 50% on that. So yeah, I'm bullish long-term Facebook. Yeah, I own one share of BRKA. It's in that video. It's in my portfolio reveal. It's in this video. Yeah, we just got to hold out. When everything reverses, whether it's this year or next year or the year after, then we'll just kind of like we'll forget about, or it won't matter. But now it's painful because it's down and you don't know when it's going to come back up. Especially if you need money and you're retired, that's even worse. I do one every 10,000 subs. I do a portfolio review. So I'm at 28,000. So I'm gonna do my next one, but it's gonna be my worst portfolio since I had my channel, because I've pretty much every stock in all my portfolio reviews was up. Now I'm gonna have a lot of stocks in the red, but everybody does, I guess, right? Well, and I have my house too, which is not part of my. I wish I had more cash to invest in Facebook. I just can't sell to buy Facebook. I have too much invested in them. Metaverse, it may not work. If it does, the stock will be like 10 trillion market cap. But things don't always work. But I still think Even if it doesn't work, they have a great company. There's what somebody said, like, buy wheat futures, because I was thinking of refinancing, but my wife won't let me. Like, besides oil, like, what does Ukraine and Russia, what do they export the most of? Mineral fuels, precious metal and stone, platinum, iron and steel, fertilizers. So all that's going away. I'm from Staten Island. Um, well, I'm in California, but I'm from Staten Island. And we're looking at water or VR. Didn't that Intel's subsidiaries going to go public? What's that company? Intel's subsidiary? Something with I in it. iMobile. Is it iMobile? Is that what it's? Mobileye. Mobileye, Intel subsidiary is going to go public. It's hard to remember all these things, and when you're live, it's hard. It's even harder to remember things because you're not like as comfortable. Like, that's why I couldn't remember Steve Jobs earlier, because like when people looking at you, you don't feel as relaxed. But anyways, yeah, Mobileye is going public. So if you own Intel, this might be a big break, because Intel is kind of getting hammered also. It's down to 46. But this is Intel, like, for the past pretty much 20 years. It's just been, or maybe the past 10 years, it's just been like, it hasn't gone anywhere. But yeah, Mobileye, if that does well, that could be a while till the IPO. Intel files for IPO of self-driving unit Mobileye. Does anybody know when they're going public? Intel has filed confidential security exchange commission filing announced last year, mid 2022. This could be if you're looking to swing trade, if you buy this, you got to sell it right away, because it's, you know how it goes like when it IPOs a stock, it goes like, it'll go like this, and then it'll come down for the next like few years. It just keeps coming down, unless it's like a great company like Facebook. They IPO'd. I bought Facebook IPO at $40. I don't know if you could just look at, because I bought at 40, and it took over a year to get back to 40, because I bought it May 2012 at 40, and right away I was down like 30%. But I ended up selling, I think 300% return up here. But everybody was saying, "Oh, don't. That's bad. That's bad to buy Facebook." And maybe I shouldn't have bought the IPO. Maybe I should have waited, but you can't time everything, right? I probably sold it. I sold it in 2017. Was it 2017? Yeah, it must have been 2017. And I probably could have gotten it for the same price I sold it for at the COVID dip. But even if you bought the COVID dip or close to it, you'd still be up. It's even though that's not the COVID dip. I was looking at it wrong, but FRSX is similar to Mobileye, but with better tech and has fallen like stone. Yeah, most stocks are just crashing. Foresight Autonomous. It really shot up, right? I understand why people are saying, "Oh, it's a dead company," but you're just listening to people's emotions, which is irrelevant in life. Their emotions. Just look at the numbers. The fourth quarter, they had their most revenue ever, $34 billion, which is like 20% higher than the prior quarter. They had the highest net income ever, over 10 billion. Well, almost as high as second quarter, but over 10 billion net income. Cash flow, they had 18 billion of cash flow, operating cash flow, which was probably the highest ever, a lot higher than prior quarters, and 12 billion of free cash flow. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. They say, "Oh, it's nobody uses Facebook anymore." I mean, people in Asia and Europe, there's so many people in Asia alone. There's probably 5 times as many Facebook users as in the US. Like probably in China and India, there's probably right there half a billion Facebook users just in those 2 countries. Nike. Yeah, and WhatsApp, Instagram, which have growth, but Facebook is still much more users than any other social media platform. Besides Google, they have the most visitors, Facebook. So, I mean, a lot has to happen for this company to really go under. Like, it just there's an enormous shift in the world. Yeah, it's not like MySpace. MySpace was never generating much revenue, right? I mean, I wonder if you can even find that MySpace revenue. How much does my stake make a year? 109 million. Was that its peak? That's 2011. MySpace, most annual revenue. I don't know if we could find it, but I mean, Facebook, every day they make more in revenue than MySpace made in a year. Ford, I think Ford is the next. I think Ford is a good investment. Maybe Tesla. Maybe Tesla. Under 800. Maybe I'll put money to Tesla. Okay. It's been an hour, so I'm gonna sign off. Yeah, leave a comment. Let me know if you have ideas on what's the next surge. I think EVs, but I'm trying to think out of the box because we got to be ahead of the curve, right? Maybe it's the batteries. Just let me know. Facebook. That's my number one. So if I'm wrong, then I'm going down with the ship. Okay. I'll see you. Thanks a lot.